Greetings, chess friends. Welcome to the coverage of 54th Biel International Chess Festival. I'm Latvian Grandmaster Artur Nations, and today, as usual, I will be providing the daily coverage of the Biel Chess Festival, which started on 24 July in the Swiss city of Biel, and is going to continue until the 4th August. So in the festival, there is a number of tournaments. There's the main event, which is the Grandmaster Triathlon. 8 invited Grandmasters are playing a round-robin tournament of 3 tournaments. So the first tournament is the Rapid tournament. Then there's a double round-robin Blitz tournament. And finally, a classical round-robin tournament. So today, the participants are playing the 4th round of the classical tournament, and tomorrow they're gonna play the Blitz event. Let me maybe show you the current standings for today. As you can see, one of the strongest Swiss grandmasters, Noel Studer, is playing today against Sorin Nichal with a white color, and probably in great spirits, because yesterday Noel managed to beat the French grandmaster Maxime Lagarde with the black color quite convincingly. Vincent Kiemer is playing against Alain Peixoto with the white color, having suffered a loss yesterday against Boris Gelfand. Gata Kamsky, the leader of the overall event, is playing against Boris Gelfand, the two most of the experienced players playing against each other today. And Maxime Lagarde is playing against Kirill Alexeyenko, who is in the 2nd place overall. So again, let me show you the rankings. These are the rankings. Gata Kamsky leads the tournament with 18 points. Kirill Alexeyenko could have tried to beat him in yesterday's game, but Gata Kamsky showed really an excellent technique in the Rook endgame and was able to save the game. And Nicolas Sarin is in the 3rd place with 13 points. Maxime Lagarde, Alain Peixoto is 12 points, and also, Noel Studer is not really so far behind after yesterday's win. Right, alrighty, so let's switch to the tournament hall, and everybody welcome, of course, in the chat. So I would like to remind you is that, of course, you can ask me some questions. For example, if you would like to see a particular game, I'll try to have a peek. There are 4 games in the Grandmaster Triathlon in the parallel. There's also other tournaments as well. I should mention is that in Biel, you saw probably in the opening scene, there's the big playing hall, and in parallel they're playing the MTO, the Masters tournament, which has gathered so many strong players, starting with Salem Salek, Pavel Ulyanov, a lot of very strong Indian grandmasters. And the plan for the coverage is also pay attention what is happening there in the final rounds. But if I have a time in the coverage of the Grandmaster Triathlon, I'll try to have a peek what is happening in the MTO as well. There's also the amateur tournament, open tournament of 9 rounds. So as you see, the players here are playing on the, so to speak, on the podium, so that everybody can follow them. And this is the main event. All right, let's then start with a game of Noel Studer against Nichal Sarin and see how did they get here. I mean, appears to be that Studer is pressing. I like his position, really. So let's see how did this happen. D4, D5, C4, C5. Okay, that is a surprise. Normally, Sarin doesn't play the Austrian defense. I don't... No, wait. I think I remember one game. He has played one game in this line in 2021, one of the online tournaments, if I remember correctly, but normally this is not Sarin's repertoire. So black is playing very aggressive in the center, but this allows white to get some space advantage. So c takes on d5. Now, naturally, black cannot take on d4, because after queen takes on d4, white keeps the pawn on d5. So after queen takes on d5, knight f3, c takes on d4, and here is quite a cute trick. White plays first knight c3, pushing with the black queen, and only then recapture the pawn on d4. So queen f5, knight takes on d4, knight f6. Now, in order to play for a strong pawn center, I guess white needs to play knight b3, which was played. Otherwise, the spin from the queen on a5 could be causing white some problems. So knight d3 was played. Queen c7. Bishop g5 is quite tricky. Maybe it was possible to play e4 right away, but I guess the idea is to play something like rook c1. Not sure, maybe takes on f6 or knight e5, knight b5, deliver a fork on c7. So that's quite an easy move. Knight c6, now e4, e6. Now e6 is a very, so to speak, a challenging move. So he doesn't really mind that white is going to take on f6. So that is like inviting for a big fight. I mean, I'm here. Come and play. So e6 was played. Still didn't take it right away because this is quite a precious bishop, which controls a lot of the dark squares. So bishop b4 was played. Now he took on f6 because black really asks white to take on f6 because the pawn on e4 is under attack and the white needs to do something about it. So bishop f6 was played. Takes, short castle. Now, maybe because of the knight b5 threat, here Sarin played a6, queen d2, short castle. Not sure how necessary was a short castle here, because this feels to be a very brave move. But then again, if black would play something like bishop d7 and long castle, not necessarily the black king is feeling really safe at the queen side. So black voluntarily made the short castle with the idea to play king h8 and rook g8, and the king on h8 should be feeling pretty much okay. So queen h6 was played with the Swiss grandmaster, attacking the pawn on f6, queen e7, f4, king h8, rook f3, rook g8. I mean, so far, all of this made perfect sense. So I completely can relate to that, what they're doing there. White appears to be slightly better because of this rook h3 threat and some potential to launch an attack, but I guess black is not, at least not lost immediately, so he has chances to overall take over the game at some point later. So rook h3 was played, rook g7, rook d1, bishop d7, and now rook d to d3. I guess white's idea is to play something like rook h4 and rook h3, maybe with some ideas to sacrifice a queen. So let's say if black plays completely something ignorant and just doesn't pay attention to what is happening here. Let's say rook b8, maybe even rook g3, by the way. Rook g3, rook g8, because you cannot take it. There's going to be a mate, or maybe not. I'm not really sure. Maybe just continue with the plan to play rook h4. Rook h4, let's say black does something completely irresponsible. Here, and maybe there is a place for some kind of a beautiful mate. Check here, check here, and something like this. Yeah, okay, I mean, I understand I completely made this up, so of course this is not gonna happen, but this is, I think, one of the dreams for white. Maybe make something like this happen. Maybe rook g3. Sarin played bishop takes on c3. Not sure I understand this move, because the knight on c3 is not really joining the attack. But I guess black figured that the bishop on b4 is not really helping black to defend. The weakness on c3 doesn't really play any role because we are still in the middle game, and the fact that black has ruined white's pawn structure, I wouldn't really say it's very critical. Now f5 was played. Not sure with what idea. I guess he wants to relieve the queen from the defense of the f6 pawn. So e5, rook g8, and king f1. And if I am not mistaken, this is the current position. So king f1, the white king goes away from any checks. Obviously, rook takes on g2 is a mate on h7. And now the big question is, what is black gonna do against this very banal threat, rook h5, rook h3? Because rook g6 is impossible, f6 is impossible. Let's say I'll try to play rook f8 with the idea to play f6. Might be not so simple. Wait, what about queen f6 here? Because you cannot take it. The bishop on d7 is under attack. So what do you do here? This could lead to some beautiful mate ideas here. For example, bishop c8, rook takes on h7. Take, check. Is that a mate? I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, it looks like a mate. Because rook h8 seems to be killing. f6 allows to give a check. And bishop h5. Yeah, and this is completely slaughtering of black. After rook g6, maybe take, rook h6 or queen h. This should be totally a mate. Something like this. Takes, check, here, and here. So this is actually a big threat. Queen f6. Maybe queen f6 and indeed threatened with rook h7. There's also this threat of rook h4, rook h3. I think that Sarin is in a little trouble here. So he's gonna have to be quite careful. I mean, he's such a gifted young player and very sharp. I mean, he calculates like a machine. So I'm pretty sure that he's gonna spot that. But please pay attention. On the clock, he's down to 10 minutes. So that could actually affect his ability to find a good move. So I was asked the question, how much time until the next time control? It's a 20-second move. I think Sarin's in a huge trouble here. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's quite clear that white is attacking. I like white's position even structure-wise. And there's these simple threats of rook h4, rook h3, then queen f6. And I'm pretty sure Sarin sees this. The question is, how do you defend here? How do you defend here? So if rook takes on d7 at some point is a threat, what happens after knight b8? Knight b8, maybe bishop b5 might be an idea. Can I try to play the same idea for rook h4? Now that is, of course, a very valid question. How do you deal with this? Maybe bishop c6. Stopping rook h3 with some bishop takes on g2 ideas. Yeah, actually that would solve the problem because, yeah, now rook h3 is impossible and if white plays g3. But then again, you need to understand what happens after something like g4. I mean, this is not clear. You just don't go to this position and throw a coin and pray that it works. For example, f takes, bishop takes. Oh wait, there might be bishop b5. Okay, this is a miss. I mean, I didn't see that, but I still get the feeling that white's attack is quite strong. Maybe something like even rook g3, rook g4, rook g5, rook h5. I don't know. Although bishop b4, bishop g6 might be a defensive resource. Still, this is... Wait, something was played, was it? Yeah, knight b8, I think it's on the board. Knight b8 is on the board, at least I see it on the small screen. Now, I think Sarin found this idea of bishop c6, and actually that's a very logical defense, because after now queen f6, black probably just takes. I think so. Does he now? Yeah, probably he just takes it. Takes, and rook g6. So the bishop on d7 is now protected by the knight. And there is no rook h7 ideas. I mean, it would be lovely, of course, right? But rook h3 check, it's not the mate, there's rook h6. So queen f6 doesn't work. Now, there might be some bishop c6 ideas. So what about if white just continues to play for some kind of a domination, and plays knight e4 with an idea to trade the bishop on c6? It's, again, quite an easy move. Plus, the knight is ready to join the attack. So let's say if black plays something like bishop c6, now white is quite happy to trade it, knight takes on c6, and just continue with this idea of rook h4. How do you play here if you're black? I mean, rook h3, queen h7 is incoming. Maybe rook f8 with f6, sort of to bring the queen to the defense of the pawn on h7, but even this, I'm not sure how exactly black is enjoying the position. Still, the saying queen f6 might actually work. Again, with the same idea of sacrifice, rook h3, queen check. I mean, not a check, queen h6, queen h8, and bishop h5 if necessary. Might be a big idea. So I guess black has to take it. Takes, rook g6, and something like rook h3. And this is, you cannot take on f6, right? This loses something. Check, here, check. Oh wait, that's still a mate. Yeah, that's the same mate I showed you before. That's a lovely mate, by the way. I don't think I've seen something like this before. So knight e4. Okay, maybe let's say bishop c6, takes, rook h4. Rook f8, queen f6. Rook takes on h7 is a threat. What do you play here? Because, by the way, there's also queen e7 and rook d7 threat. It might be that white just might start to positionally pressure his opponent. I don't know. I'm a bit of out of ideas. Because for white, even if the attack doesn't really work, it's whatever. I mean, just trade the queens and play bishop f3. Still, it's a more pleasant position for white. I mean, it's a very, very pleasant position to be in. Yeah, so Noel is still thinking about this. Okay, maybe after knight e4, bishop c6 is not necessary, but what else? What else? Or maybe rook f8 with the f6, and again, I think it's going to be... Maybe this is a good defense, by the way. So queen f6 is going to be a little slow, right? Because takes, and rook g6. And now white is probably a little late to organize this idea, although it might be possible. Might be still possible. But at least I have a feeling that black somehow keeps the position together. Let's say even h6, yeah. Not necessarily this is a great position for black, because now indeed white has a weakness on c3, which wasn't significant at the moment when black took it. So knight e4, rook f8. Maybe indeed it's a good defense here with the idea to play f6. So if I... Wait, but I can still play rook g... Wait, rook g3. So obviously black cannot take, and after this we would just transpose to some rook g5 ideas. Oh, by the way, just notice there's even knight f3. Knight f3. Oh dear, this looks so dangerous. There's even knight f3, knight g5. So let's say rook f8, rook g3, f6. Black is literally walking a tightrope here. And even just a trade, even this should be good for white. I mean, takes, and just trade, and just play maybe takes, and bishop f3. Even this is better for white, because black's pieces are just not good. Okay, the rook on h3 may be slightly disconnected from the action, so I would love it to have it here. But I mean, it's clearly white who is calling the shots here. So I guess we are going to come back to this game. But so far, I think Studer has been playing a wonderful game. I just again want to maybe pinpoint this moment. I didn't understand bishop takes on c3. I just don't understand it. I mean, there was something that Sarin didn't like, but this knight is not really joining the attack, but maybe this bishop could have been helping Black's defense. But then again, how? Maybe it's a bad position already. It might just as well be. Okay, I'm gonna reload the board and switch over to the next game. So the next game is Vincent Kiemer. He's playing against Alain Pichot. Let me maybe find their video. Here they are. So I don't think both players have any reason to be extremely happy they were playing before. None of them really had excellent results in the Rapid and Chess 960. I forgot from memory which places they were finishing. I think it was something like 4 to 6 places, not for top 3. Pichot has had a really up and down game against Noah Studer, which was 2 days ago. He played this insane game of 138 moves, I think, it was 38. He made his draw, so it doesn't really work for him. And yesterday he was also playing with the white color against Sarin Nikhal, and he sacrificed a pawn, but in the end it was the Indian who was pressing. In the meantime, Kiemer also is slightly struggling. Yesterday he was playing against Gelfand, who surprised him with a new idea in the Catalan, and Winston didn't find a way around this and was outplayed. So I think both players are definitely looking towards this game as a possibility to change something, because I mean sometimes it is like this. I mean, I know this perfectly from my experience as well. It just doesn't work for you. Or you're trying and you're trying, it just doesn't work for you. And there's always somebody who is going to be, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to be these players, but there's always somebody who is finishing last. I mean, if there are 8 players, there's always somebody who is going to finish 8th place or 7th place. And since this tournament is so strong, yeah, so at the moment, I think, let me check the standings, overall standings. Here we go. Yeah, okay, Pichot is shared 4th place. Vincent Kiemer is in 7th place, but definitely they need a win. They need a win here. So let's check. Let's check what happened before. Yeah. By the way, yeah. Thank you. I read in the chat. Thank you for the great daily recaps. Yeah, I want to remind you that every single day I'm doing a recap for the previous day. Usually covering the most interesting moments, and you can find them on Biel's YouTube page. And if you like them, please give it a like and also follow YouTube's channel, because the organizers are doing really amazing job and are trying to expand their YouTube page lately. All right, so this game, Vincent was playing against Pichot, and here bishop b4. Now, I checked the database. I don't think Pichot has played this before, because usually he plays knight f6 and e6, at least in this setup. So bishop b4, I think his approach is try to kick the young German out of preparation. So maybe the idea is to play some early bishop takes on c3 and then try to improvise. So queen b3 is a very reasonable move, even if you don't know much theory here. You just want recapture on c3 with the queen and get a healthy pawn structure to bishops. Yeah, so probably it's not a big secret that at the professional level, the 2 bishop advantage combined with some space advantage is considered to be one of the most favorite advantages, and many openings from white's perspective, sometimes the white player is already happy if he manages to get the so-called minimal 2 bishop advantage. And why is that? Because if you would check the games, the number of games, for example, you played it yourself, you would probably see that the number of games which have the open character clearly outweighs the closed character I mean, the closed position games. So every single position has a tendency to open. So that's why. A lot of people really give preference to two bishops because the position is going to open, and as soon as it's going to open, the bishops are going to get powerful. Of course, in reality, it's much more complicated than that, but that is the general idea. So queen c3, knight f6, b4. I think that's slightly impatient, but okay. I mean, Vincent is trying to score. I mean, kill two birds with one stone. At the same time, put the bishop on b2 and fight for space advantage. Maybe slightly careful was b3, but okay. I mean, maybe it doesn't matter. So b4, b6, bishop b2, position the bishop on the long diagonal, and then seeking some kind of improvisation, because I don't think at this point White still knows what kind of setup he's going to choose. Maybe d3, e4, maybe e3, d4, maybe e3, d3, maybe f4, e3, knight f3, g4, g5. I mean, nobody knows, because you position the bishop on d2 and just see what happens. So after bishop e7, knight f3, short castle, here Kiemer decided to play e3. Very reasonable move. d6. So we have some sort of, I'm not sure, probably looks like a Bogo Indian setup. When black plays knight f6, c6, bishop b4, takes on c3 early, and then he plays something like d6, and at some point e5. c5 was played, short castle, knight c6. Now black is challenging the pawn on b4. So yeah, there we go. I mean, there we go, because White has the two bishop advantage. He's seeking for ways to open the position. That's why he's not playing b5. Again, easy decision. B takes, d3. I guess White is not rushing with the move d4 because there's no need. You can always do it. And this battery could be annoying for black. So knight e7, rook b1, knight g6, queen d2, bishop c6. Or maybe I should switch it on the small screen as well. Yeah, so bishop c6 was played. Knight e1, I don't really follow. What's the idea? I guess to trade the bishops. Yeah, now White is willingly giving up the two bishop advantage because there's a weakness on b5. So like I said, it's not always so simple about the two bishops. Yeah, now it goes back. Rook b6, knight e5. There's a pin. I think this is the current position. Yeah. So I cannot really immediately jump in and understand. Let me try to understand Kiemer's approach. Knight e1 is a little strange, to be honest. I see why. I don't see why you cannot play the simple moves bishop c3, rook b2, rook b1. This would be my top choice. But okay, I mean, Vincent chose another idea to play bishop f3, maybe remove the bishop and then try to play rook b5 right away. There probably are reasons. e5, since black has two knights, obviously he's trying to get a position with a closed character. Bishop f3, queen d7, and yeah, I don't again understand why I didn't include bishop c6 and now bishop c3 with the idea to go for the plan, something like, I don't know where the knight goes, and then fight for this open b file, and there's a weakness, although black is going to play a4 probably just fine. But okay, I mean, bishop c3, e4 was played. Maybe Vincent thought actually that e4 is not really possible because this again opens the bishop here. I don't know. So the bishop goes back because this would allow black to trade away this bishop on c3. Okay, so far at least I think I understand what is happening here. Queen e6. Now black is not rushing with the trade. And rook b6. Yeah, that's a very natural move, of course. You know, I was looking at this move, f4. Can you do this? It's sort of an unexpected resource because the black queen was not on e6 before, but I'm just curious, can you do it? So the threat is to play f5. I guess knight e7. Yeah, maybe there's no follow-up really. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe there is. Still f5. Some tactics. Knight f5, bishop f6. Yeah, by the way, queen f6 is going to be g4. And after g takes, there's bishop g4. Okay, I found some weirdness. So, yeah, f4 looked interesting. And the point is, if black takes here, now you can proceed with your idea to play bishop f3. And after the trade, white should be sort of better. Knight c2, there's the semi-open file, the diagonal. These knights are not really doing much. But anyway, I mean, Kimmer didn't play. Rook b6, knight e5, take, d takes, bishop a4, and here. Yeah, so this is, I think, the current position. No, wait, it's not. White is trying to open the position and appears to be slightly pressing because there's a spin. So clockwise, the players are doing okay. Black is slightly ahead on the clock, 27 minutes. Doesn't mean much, of course. It's all that matters is the position. White's position is slightly to be preferred, but I guess because of this knight on e1, it cannot be much. So maybe even something like queen e8. But after queen e8, there might be rook takes on c6, and white is not really rushing with the trade. I mean, the point is, of course, takes, queen e5 would be a nice idea to grab the pawn for free, but there's knight e2. And the rook on f1 is a prisoner. So, yeah, I don't think white can do it. But anyway, rook c6 is definitely a possibility. And now just some developing move like knight e3. Knight e3, the pawn on e5 is under attack, f6. So white still has the tempo to play bishop takes on c6 at the right time. So I don't know what kind of move to choose here. Yeah, so, but definitely white looks slightly better. Even something like, I don't know, rook b1, and at some point take on c6. White controls the semi-open file, although black probably does the b file. Yeah, so definitely something for Pichot to think about. A bit unpleasant. So we are gonna use this opportunity and switch to the next game. In the meantime, let me very quickly check Studer's game. He is thinking, yeah, he is thinking because he understands it. It's a very critical moment, so quite understandably, he wants to invest time and he doesn't want to blunder anything. This is Kamsky's game against Boris Gelfand. Yeah, Kamsky indeed yesterday was the hero of the day because he saved his difficult endgame, showed a flawless endgame technique against Kirill Alexeyenko, defended his lead in the overall rankings, and probably just got a morale boost, I imagine. So let's check how this happened. So the London, okay, c5, c3, knight c6, knight 8, all of this has been played a million times before. There's not much to add. Knight f3, e6, bishop e5. The London system was brought in the regular practice, I guess, mainly because of the world champion Magnus Carlsen, who started to play it. Now, I don't want to lie. I'm trying to remember. I think it was starting with 2016 World Championship match against Sergei Karyakin, but maybe even before. Yeah, maybe even before. So it's all Magnus's fault that he brought it to practice, but it's a very tricky system. And despite the fact that the position is quite equalish, it's not not really easy for black to prove what exactly he has. So, I mean, how exactly he equalizes. So here, after queen b6, queen a4, now white's idea is to play 95, 97, and here Kamsky played this crazy move e4. You know, I checked the database, nobody has played like this before, so this must have been some new idea. I mean, I'm not a big London player myself, but I don't think I've seen something like this before. Maybe there is such an idea from another line. So the idea is this, that black is obliged to take with the bishop. And why is that? Because after d takes on e4, there's going to be knight c4. Quite unexpectedly, black is in trouble. So the queen can only go to d8. And now after knight e5, black's position is collapsing. Because knight e5, obviously the knight on d7 is lost. So what do? I don't know, some kind of a a6, maybe try to save this, and this just looks terrible. Yeah, I don't know, takes, and queen c6, knight c6. I mean, I don't know, maybe knight c6, and go back, and knight b6. This looks extremely bad. Yeah, I guess black already is lost. So that's why Gelfand took with the bishop. Takes, and knight e5 was Kamsky's idea. So here, after knight e5, d takes on e5, white is temporarily down a pawn. But it's not going to go far, because at some point, white can simply play queen takes on e4, assuming that the bishop on b5 is not under attack. So Gelfand played a long castle. Not sure, I mean, maybe bishop e7 short castle was also a possibility. Long castle, at least, immediately deals with this pin. Short castle, white is not in a rush to take the pawn. He can always play rook e1, rook e4. Knight e7, rook e1. Yeah, I don't know why with this rook, why not with the other rook. a6, bishop goes away. The pawn on b2, nobody's even calculating such moves. I mean, from personal experience, I can tell you that especially the stronger the player, the greater limitations. I think it was Vladimir Kramnik, the former world champion, who once said it. This quote, I didn't invent it. It was Kramnik who said that the greater the mastery, the greater restrictions. And you're just not looking at lines which make no sense to you. I mean, according to your huge, vast knowledge. Yeah, welcome, Raiders. And here, I guess something like rook b1, bishop a6 is just killing. Yeah, just killing right away. Queen c3, you just don't look at this. I mean, yeah, there should be a mate. There should be a mate. Yeah, so bishop c4 was played, queen c6. Gelfand is trying to simplify the position. Trade, and rook e4, and there you go. We have this position. And since I already talked about the importance of the two bishops, there you go. White has the so-called minimal advantage that every grandmaster is really enjoying. He has two bishops, no weaknesses, and some space advantage. Although, on the other hand, black is quite solid. So this was the position after the opening, after Kamsky's new idea. h5, bishop c1 and g6. So Gelfand is preparing to play knight e7, knight f5, and maybe trade away the dark square bishop with h6, because on f8 or e7 it's not doing much. So f4, knight e7, g3, all of this was played before. I'm not sure about g3 was that necessary, but okay. Knight f5, king g2, king c7, rook e1, b5, and black just got an excellent position here. I have a feeling white misplayed something here. Takes, king f3. Yeah, I don't see white playing this for the win. Yeah, rook d1 is already a silent draw offer. Knight e5, bishop d2, knight b6. I think Gelfand is slightly pressing. At least I thought he was. Okay, maybe not. Takes, knight b6, b4, and again. White appears to be slightly pressing, but still should be quite equalish. Quite equalish. Let me check again what happened before. Yeah, clockwise, everything is good. There's no time trouble. Plenty of time. So let's go back and evaluate what happened before, because I had a feeling that White had an excellent position after the opening. Bishop c1. A bit passive, but okay, I guess White wants to play 4 and avoid the bishop trade. I can relate to that. Knight e7. You know, I have a feeling that White has to play 4. I mean, I don't know. I don't want Black allowed to play b5 and c4, but this is definitely that Kamsky evaluated. I'm sure. I mean, he's such a wonderful positional player, and I'm sure he evaluated this, but there was something that he didn't like. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, looks very automatic move, quite automatic. Maybe he didn't like that Black goes back, knight c6, knight a5, and now there might be some weakness on b3. So let's say if I try to play rook e1, because the rook on e4 doesn't do anything. Knight a5, bishop a2, I guess, and something like c4. Is that possible even? And Black is going to play b5 anyway if he wants. So maybe this was the point. Yeah, maybe this indeed was the point why Kamsky decided not to do it. g3... I think g3 idea is not to allow Black to play h4, but then again, I'm not really sure if Black wants to play h4. Okay, but maybe it's not a big deal. So g3, knight f5, king g2. White is thinking about at some point to play h3, g4, probably later than sooner. Yeah, hello, Pongruber in the chat. I'm reading your comments. I had no time to check what did you send there. Yeah, thank you, by the way, Raiders. Thank you. So I'm now talking to my Twitch followers. I mean, we are simultaneously streaming on 3 channels. It's my Twitch channel, it's Biel's YouTube channel, and it's the Facebook page. And I'm trying to interact with all of you. I'm seeing what you're writing there, all of the 3 chats. So if you have some interesting question, or you just like to leave a general remark about something, you're of course very much welcome, and I'll try to answer. Yes, okay. So this was played king c7, rook e1, b5, c4, bishop c5. Yeah, Black is totally fine now. I guess White slightly misplayed it. Knight e5, bishop d2, knight b6, bishop e1, takes. Yeah, it's just equal. It's just equal. Maybe knight a4 was a loss of time, but then again, I don't think it's a big deal. So White is thinking about some ideas like bishop c2, h3, g4, f5, and try to grind it out. So let's say Black does nothing. Well, let me try to show you a scenario where Black is doing nothing. Because probably I don't think he can do a lot of active choices. Maybe push a5, I don't know. Try to trade the queenside pawns and then just get the king to g8 and fix a draw. But let's say he does nothing. So bishop here, h3. White has no other ideas, physically no other ideas. h3, g4, takes. Black just sits and waits. Let's say some knight e5, bishop d2, king c6, f5, takes. Now f6 and some bishop h7, bishop g8 might be a problem. So you have to take and take. So I think this is something like this is Kamsky's idea. Very pleasant, by the way. There's no risk. There's no risk for him. I don't think he really feels threatened in terms of the overall rankings, because just play every single game, see whatever happens. you can't just outplay such an experienced player as Boris Gelfand on demand because you just have the white color. So definitely, I think Gata is going to try, but there's going to be a draw. There's going to be a draw. I don't think it's going to be big tragedy for him. Risk-free position. And I think he played something. Bishop f2. Wait. Let me reload the board. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, bishop f2 is played. Of course, he's not threatening to take on b6. Maybe the idea is to position the bishop on d4, bishop c2, and then prepare this idea. Again, no other ideas for white. So again, let's say bishop d4, bishop c2, h3, g4, takes, takes, f5, takes, 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 and takes. And probably from black's perspective, right now Gelfand is thinking about how should I trade the a pawn. I think so. Otherwise, at some point, if the king is going to go somewhere here, he needs to reckon with some ideas of bishop b7. The pawn on c3 is easily defended. White can always play bishop d4. Yeah, so he plays knight c4 exactly. Yeah, exactly with the idea to play a5. Of course, completely I can understand that. Maybe white can play bishop e2 to stop the idea. Because now after a5, bishop c4, b takes, and a5, that's a free pawn. Yeah, bishop e4, I'm pretty sure Kamsky is going to play this. The position doesn't really... It's not a forced position. You just push it here and there, here and there. See if whatever happens. If nothing happens, then a draw. Okay. Kamsky is playing with a draw in the pocket, so to speak. Nice position to be in. Very quickly, let me check Studer's game. Studer is still thinking, wow, that's something like half an hour. Listen, that's too much. That is too much. I thought knight e4 was such an easy move for Noel, but I don't know what he's thinking there so long. Maybe he's trying to find a forced win. So we have one more game, which is Maxime Lagarde against Kirill Alexeyenko. Lagarde appears to be a bit out of form, I have a feeling. He yesterday lost with white color. Not really in a great style, so a bit unbalanced. I mean, there's a mix between good games and not good games. So this is the current position he has against Alexeyenko. Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of this. I don't like it, actually. Maybe it's okay. I don't see how... Okay, maybe you can sacrifice the pawn on f2. Okay. Maybe if he sacrifices the pawn on f2, then it's okay. Because I was thinking, how do you deal with this incoming invasion at the b file? Something like rook b7, rook b2. But okay, let's check what happened in the opening. c4, e5, knight c3, bishop b4. Yeah, there's this modern opening. Black wants to take on c3 as quickly as possible. I think the main move here is something like knight e5. Knight e5, bishop e7, and now something like d4. d4. What did I play here? I think d6. Maybe I'm mistaken. d6. Yeah. It's been time when I've checked this line. Okay, so he played queen c2. Knight f6. So this is actually a success for Alexeyenko, because queen c2 is a rare move in this position. Knight f3. Yeah, because how do I know this? I'm not sure if you noticed, I've written a complete repertoire for black, for Chessable, English, reversed English. I mean, reverse Sicilian, it's the c4, e5 complete repertoire for black. And this position, queen c2, is not the main move. So here, bishop c3, queen takes on c3, d6. Black's playing super solid. And of course, again, I think this is going to be the main topic of today, the advantage of two bishops, because I talked about this in Kimmer's game. Gatakamsky, he has the same two bishops, and now again we have a topic two bishops against the two knights. All right, so d4 was played. Again, it might be slightly impatient. Maybe d3 is more patient, but okay, I mean, it cannot be bad. d4, so white naturally is seeking ways to open the position, and black understandably closes it. Knight g1, very modern move. I guess after knight e2, white is slightly experiencing issues with the dark square bishop, but the knight on d2 doesn't do much. So after knight g1, the bishop can get somewhere f4 or g5, and the knight can join the game like this. So this is essentially slightly a loss of time, but then again, in closed character positions, the loss of tempo doesn't really play a big role. So I can completely understand this choice by white. h6, yeah, Alexienko didn't want to allow bishop g5 to happen. b3, now white is seeking another way to join the bishop the game, and black would love to play d5, but the problem is bishop a3, and now the king is slightly stuck in the center. So that's why short castle was played, and now this begs the question why white didn't play here d5, because that would be a nice strategic idea. I guess there was something wrong about this, because white opens the long diagonal for the bishop, and if he's allowed to finish development, something like, I don't know, e3, knight e2, knight e4, or knight g3, bishop e2, whatever castle, short or long, he should be doing okay. But there's another thing, and I think I mentioned this before, it's not so simple. It's not so simple. It's not always just the two bishops, because I know also from personal experience that sometimes players get carried away. They think they have the two bishops and nothing else matters. It's just the two bishops. It's not like it's the ultimate goal for one of the sides. So even experienced players sometimes tend to overestimate the importance of the two bishops. So specifically here, the d5 might be not a good idea, because it could be paradoxical that it's black who is opening the position, because white is seriously behind in development, although white has the two bishops. So there you go, that's quite a paradox, right? So white has two bishops, but black is opening the position. So let's say takes, knight c6, bishop b2, and d5. Yeah, this looks super dangerous for white. Maybe it's playable, but something like c takes, queen takes, and there might be some bishop e5 or bishop g4, rook c8 ideas, and I don't think white is really super enjoying this bishop on b2. So that's why the Frenchman played e3. And now Alexienko closed the position with d5. Now you understand why they played what they played. Knight e2, rook e8. Black is trying to keep the position closed. Bishop e6, a4, a5. Okay, I guess white is trying to get some space advantage. At the same time, I thought bishop a3 was an easy move. Now knight a6 is slightly unexpected. Here, Maxime played knight a6. I don't know why. I don't know why he chose it over bishop e2. There must have been a reason. Yeah, there's always a reason, of course. I mean, the players are not playing random. Knight a6, rook e6, and now this is what we call a total two bishop advantage, right? So if the position is going to open, let's say if black completely loses his mind and plays something like d takes on c4, then after b takes, d5, bishop b2, the position is going to open, and white's bishops are completely going to tear apart black's position. But of course, black is not going to do it. He's going to try to keep the position closed. H4, H5, closed position, knight f5, and long castle. Wow. So I think Lagarde is provoking. He's provoking black. I mean, come and play. Come and play. I'm here. I'm here. Just come and try to checkmate me. I'm going to play something like king b2 and try to checkmate me. So provocation is obviously a big part between chess professionals who are used to playing open tournaments, and of course Lagarde has a rich experience already. So he is slightly playing with fire here, but yeah, he's hoping for black to storm forward, and I think he actually managed to achieve that. So after long castle, rook b8, there you go. Black, of course, accepted the challenge. b6, c5. Then again, I don't understand how white can be happy about this position if black just plays b5. Keeping the position closed, because the king side is closed, the queen side is closed, maybe it's something like c6 and bring the king here. Because white is not in the position to organize something real at the king side. Yeah, maybe that was not a good idea, but anyway, I don't know. So c5, slightly unexpected choice by the Frenchman. Knight g4 instead was played by Kirill. Bishop e1, the pawn on f2 now is defended, and rook c6. So of course, Alexienko's idea is not to close the position because, I mean, he was just provoked by white. Come and try to checkmate me. So he feels like he's obliged to do it. And this is where the white king is. So that's why he's not going to play b5 just yet. A takes, c takes, and b4. Again, very provocative play by the French player. He's opening his position, but maybe he actually just made sure that black cannot play b5 anymore because now white has a protect pass pawn and the potential weakness on a6. But then again, I think it's completely playable. b5 and get the knight to c6. Okay. Queen c8 was played. I guess black is preparing to play a5 at some point. King a2. Remove the king from the harm's way. B takes, and rook c7. There you go. I think this was the position we started it. Let me reload the board so that I don't miss anything. Oh, something has clearly changed. B takes, rook c7, rook b1. Trade, rook b7, and this is the current position. Not sure what to make of it. I think from a certain point of view, white's provocation worked. So it's a good idea probably to remind you the tournament rules. We are playing, I mean, not we, I mean, I'm commentating they're playing, but I refer to we. They're playing the Grandmaster Triathlon, which is the main event of the Biel Chess Festival. There's the MTO, the big open tournament, and there's the amateurs tournament. But the main event is the 8 invited Grandmasters who are playing this round robin tournament. It's called the Grandmaster Triathlon. And it consists of 3 parts. It's the Rapid Tournament, it's the Blitz Tournament, by the way, which is going to be held tomorrow, starting at 2 p.m. Central European Summer Time. I'm going to be doing the coverage for the entire tournament. But the difference is the scoring, and all that matters is the overall score. So for every victory in the Rapid Tournament, every player is awarded 2 points. Every draw is 1 point. That is in the Rapid Tournament. Blitz as usual, 1 point for the win and draw for the draw. But in Classical Tournament, every victory is 4 points. 4. Every draw is 1.5 points. Thus, in the long term, it really pays off to win more games and lose more games than draw all of them. So for example, if one of the players wins one game and then loses, he scores 4 points out of 2 games. If he draws both games, he scores 3 points. Yeah, so that's 1 point less. So it's quite understandable that the players are taking more risks trying to win their games. And so if for Lagarde the tournament is not really going, he's seeking ways to generate some chances, because he's not going to sit quietly, make draws. So that's why he played this highly provocative idea of a long castle. He sort of managed to provoke his opponent into attacking him instead of closing the queen set, which Alexeyenko could have done. And in the long term, yeah, I think this is the current position. So in the long term, let's imagine if the pieces get traded. So let's say there's no attack. There's no incoming attack. White manages to trade off the queens and the rooks. White essentially is left with the bishop and a protected passed pawn, while the pawn on a6 might be a weakness. The pawn on f2 could be defended. I mean, not defended, I apologize, but sacrificed. So white could play at some point bishop d2, just sacrifice the pawn on f2. So it's not really so simple. I have a feeling that Alexeyenko should have closed the position when he had the chance. Now this is very double-edged game. And maybe this is, I mean, not maybe, it's for sure exactly what Lagarde wants. He's such a sharp player. He's always seeking complications. So for example, in his game against Kamsky was playing with white and he was trying as safe as possible. So it was a clash of styles. A very positional player was playing against a very sharp player. So Lagarde is known for his crazy tactics, crazy positions. Maybe not always sound, but he just plays exciting chess. And Alexeyenko always appeared to me to be the solid guy. But anyway, there's the tournament standings, so you have to take that into account. There's a request in the chat to see Vincent's game. Yeah, we can do that. He just sacrificed the knight. Okay, let's do that. Let me maybe very quickly check. Yeah, there's nothing happening in Studer's game. Let's go. Let's go to Kimmer's game. So we left it. Yeah, this is exactly by the way what happened, didn't it? Rook c6, knight f3, f6, queen c2, knight d6, queen d3, rook c8. Yeah, this spin is quite annoying, So white is not in a hurry to take on c6. Queen b5 check, king f8, rook d1, king e7, h3, window for the king, queen b7, knight g5. Oh wow, knight g5. Now, you know, usually it's like this. When your opponent, and you're studying with black, he plays knight g5, you know, you just blunder. You just blunder. Because if this works, if it goes through, you're done. So after knight g5, where's the idea? So white obviously is threatened with a check, but let's say if black takes it. Queen e5 check. So king f7 obviously, oh wait, what happens obviously? There's no obviously, no nothing. So if the king goes away, then bishop c6, rook d6 is at least an extra pawn for white. So king d7 has to be the move. Oh, there's a pin. There you go. Yeah, I blundered this as well. So there's a pin. So it's actually quite a simple tactic. So black must have thought that, yeah, but queen b7 is such a strange move. Why don't you play queen c7? But maybe it's the same idea of, yeah, but also knight g5 works. Also knight g5 works, takes, queen e5 check. Again, king d7 should be something. yeah, some queen g7 check, and so many things are falling for black. Let's say king e6 check. This is like a wall, and the black king can never escape to the queen side. He's just wishing the queen was standing on b7. And yeah, there's a lot of checks, but it's going to take so many things at the right moment. He can simply play bishop c6 with 4 pawns for the knight and the exposed black king. So h6, h3 was a very cunning move, and here knight g5 is a huge threat. But not only knight g5, knight h4 also might be a problem. Queen e6, white just plays here. So this is, again, let me go back to this moment when something happened here. I think queen d7, but okay, how do you blame queen d7? Because you want to get rid of the pin. Now another pin appeared right here. We had a look at this position, but with the queen on e8. Knight f3, f6, queen c2. Black simply doesn't have the time to get rid of the spin. There's always a new threat. For example, here queen d5 check. So you need to deal with this. Rook c8, queen d5, king f8, okay, rook d1. But I have a feeling that king e7 was too much. Yeah, this is too much. I mean, the king is in the middle of the board. So maybe Pichot had to play queen b7, exactly the same idea. And now after bishop takes on c6, rook takes on c6 has to be played to defend the knight. And white is definitely still pushing, yeah. h4, h5, some knight h4 ideas, maybe g4, g5. Clearly, white is more active and black's pieces are passive. But with a very accurate defense, something like queen c7, knight f7, probably he can hold this. Now instead, king e7, I guess it was just an overly optimistic move. Yeah, so he simply missed this idea of knight g5, which was already threatened. By the way, was knight g5 possible right away? Probably not, right? Knight g5? Yeah, there's no threat. There's no threat. You just take it. And queen e6. Yeah. Wasn't working right away, so h3. White made sure he's not gonna experience any background issues. And now after queen b7 is a huge blunder, knight g5, and Pichot just blundered away the game. I think that's it. He knows it. He knows it. So if he has to accept it. I mean, queen e5 and play something like king f7, but this is not fun. Clearly not fun. I mean, something like bishop c6, rook c6, rook d6. Yeah, I think it's just a technically winning position. Take, take. The king is exposed. I mean, that's also an additional problem. It's not only the extra pawn, it's the many checks. It's the problem that he cannot go to the pawn endgame because he's losing right away. So something like queen a7, e4, e... No, this is over. This is over. I think Kimmer is just winning. Queen d7 was played. I think. Yeah, but now essentially white has lost time. I'm sorry, black. So for example, something like bishop c6, queen c6 loses to queen e6, so rook c6, and something like knight e4. Or maybe black somehow holds this. I cannot believe this, but maybe knight e6 with the idea of queen e6, queen c6, and also knight c5, also knight g7. Yeah, this is falling apart for black. Completely falling apart. So maybe Pichot is his last chance is that Winston is not going to fire knight e6, but it's not really such a difficult move. Although he's down in the last 5 minutes. I'm going to switch the game of Studer against Soren Michal, where something has changed here. And I'm going to keep the small board of Keemer against Pichot still active, so that you're going to follow it. So let me switch to this game. Something has gone wrong for the Swiss Grandmaster. He had such a great position. He finally played knight e4 after a super long think. Bishop c6, knight c6, b takes. Totally great position. So rook h4, knight e7, rook h3, f6. Oh, okay. So maybe this was not a great idea to push for this idea on h7 after all. So Sarin played b takes on c6, and clearly his idea was not to make his position as difficult as possible, but get the knight to d7. I wonder how Studer missed that. How did he miss that? Because knight e7 allows not only to play knight f8 but f6. So after rook h4, knight e7, rook h3, f6, all of this is quite obvious. Bishop c4. Maybe, his idea was to play bishop e6. And queen h7 mate. So let's say if black plays a5, there's going to be bishop e6, queen e6, lovely. From Switzerland with love. But, I mean, black is not obliged to fall into this. He can play not a5, he can play whatever. I mean, just remove the rook so that there's no mate. Here. I'm not sure what all of this armada is doing at the king side, you know? So we have to go back to this. And maybe rook h4 was not the best idea. And you know, sometimes you... and Nolan perfectly knows this, of course. I mean, it's easy for me, right? I'm sitting here drinking... what is this? Vichy. A sparkling drink, commenting the games, but in actual key to the tournament, sometimes it's not so simple. And I think the idea, what I want to explain here, is that not always you have to finish a started attack until a logical checkmate. Sometimes you start the attack to provoke your opponent to do some positional, not mistakes, but concessions. So you provoke your opponent into... So, for example, here, Sarin made this ugly move, b takes on c6, so that he can play knight d7, f6. And now Noel had to be slightly more practical. And instead of going all in for this checkmate idea, is try to reap the benefits from the positional advantage. Okay, that was probably a wasted explanation, but I wanted to explain that White can play this also as a positional game, so you don't have to try to checkmate your opponent at all costs. So I think a very reasonable idea for White was to trade queens, because now those pawns on a6 and c6 combined with rook d6 make easy targets. So the quite obvious question is, can White play queen f6? So that's the first question which jumps to my mind, because if I have this idea that I need to trade queens, I want to check this out. I mean, the pawn on g2 obviously is under attack. I just need to check it. So let's say rook takes on g2. And I had this idea, but okay, it probably doesn't work. Take, check, forcing the king go here. King takes on g2, but king f6. Yeah, not great, not great. Yeah, so we simply lost the pawn. So after queen f6, takes, rook takes on g2. Yeah, okay, maybe there's nothing really. Maybe there's nothing. The evaluation bar though likes it for some reason. Let me check why. Oh, what? Bishop h5. So the idea is to play bishop f7. And the knight on b8 is excluded, but there's a lot of checks. Check, 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 check. And here. And bishop f7 still remains. And you can play rook f8. There's still bishop f7. Oh, wow. So maybe this is what Noel missed, actually. But this is just not how human mind operates, because I'm sure that he saw queen f6. But the human mind works like this. Queen f6, you think, oh, there's going to be trade, rook takes on g2, I see no mate on h7, I'm losing a pawn, there's rook g1 check, I stop it. So this is how human mind operates. You just don't pay attention to this. So let's say if somebody would come by and say, listen, Noel, queen f6 is the way to go, work it out. So it's like, oh, queen f6 is working, now I need to work it out. And then you start to pay attention why it's supposed to work out. You just don't have this information during the game. So you think, okay, the pawn on g2 is lost, there's a check, there's no mate, that's it, I'm dropping this line. And if you're drawing a line right here, you just don't see bishop h5. All right, let me reload the board. There's some action. Oh, there's gonna be a draw. Yeah, this is perpetual check. While I was explaining my brilliant concept, bishop c4, rook e8 was played. Bishop e6, queen e6. Oh, the queen sacrifice did work after all, but this is gonna be a perpetual check. Yeah, it's a perpetual check. And precisely with this rook, so that black king cannot escape here. So rook h7, rook h6, rook h7, rook h6, this is a draw. So quite a practical decision from the Swiss Grandmaster. He definitely had chances. He had the better position. Sarin should be quite happy with the draw because he should have felt that he was in trouble. As you can see, Studer is gonna call the arbiter and ask if they're okay to draw. Yeah, I think in the tournament regulations, it's mentioned that you need to play at least 40 moves or there's a threshold repetition. You just, I think so at least, I seem to remember it, because you just cannot agree to a draw because you want to, you're not allowed to. So that rule was implemented in practice, also called as the Sofia rule, is that sometimes the grandmasters in super tournaments were making quick draws, and the spectators, they come for this big event and they see their beloved players agreeing to quick draws instead of like 10 moves, and eventually this is what made organizers invent this rule. So there's gonna be an interview. Let me double check if I'm ready. Not sure if it's working. It's not at the moment. Here we go again. We have been experiencing some issues. Oh, it is working. I hope it's gonna work. If it's not, I have an alternate source. Yeah, so we're waiting for the interview between the players. They're gonna join it. In the meantime, maybe I'm gonna put hello, Angelica. Yeah, maybe you can ask Noel where did he miss his moment, because he apparently had a big chance after b takes on c6. Did he feel that he has some chances to win the game? The computer found it. Yeah, queen f6, I just moved it. There's this crazy rook g2, bishop h5. I mean, maybe he can explain the thoughts if he saw something like this, because this is what I was pushing, and I switched on the engine said bishop h5. I mean, I didn't see it myself. Yeah, the net is completely shut off, yeah. Yeah, so you're not hearing me, but I'm talking with Angelika Volkova. She is organizing interviews in Biel with the players. So they're going to be on the screen shortly, hopefully, if the technique is not going to fail us. Hopefully. Let's keep fingers crossed. Yeah, yesterday was everything okay, I mean, but, you know, with technique, you never know. Never know. Yeah, in the meantime, maybe viewers, if you have some questions to Nikhal or Noel, you can ask them, and I'll try to relay to Angelica, who is in Biel. And maybe in the meantime, while waiting for it, I'm gonna switch to Lagarde against Alexeyenko. All right. Yeah, so quite a sharp position in Lagarde against Alexeyenko. I think the Frenchman is out tricking Alexeyenko, if there's even such a word, out tricking. I like his position. The players are still arriving. So there is a question from the chat. How does Nikhal approach chess? Maybe he can explain philosophically. Okay.
So we're at 54th Biel Chess Festival. It's round 4. The first game of the round has just finished. We had a game against Nel Studer and Michal Saring. They just did a draw. It was quite interesting, exactly from the opening, from the move 2, because basically Michal, you played c5, which actually normally allows white to get some advantage in many ways. So could you explain us, like, did you find some improvements for that, and maybe you could analyze the game afterwards?
Yeah, I think first of all, the thing is c5 is a suppress, and it's not so easy for white to get an advantage, I think.
Honestly, I've never looked in my life at this move, so I just thought, okay, that should be fine. And okay.
Yeah, like no one plays it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought what I did seemed like normal, yeah.
Yeah,
or I don't know if you checked anything more deeply.
Yeah, I checked quite a lot, but I did not see bishop g5.
Because I thought maybe I want to play with g3 here, but I wasn't so sure.
G3 is there, like g3, e5, knight b3, queen c7, like.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's also what I thought, but.
Yeah, the main line goes like this, bishop b4, and.
Exactly, I thought, okay, you probably will know this, yeah? Because g3 looks like everybody will do it, yeah?
Actually, black is fine here, I think. So.
It's amazing, yeah?
Yeah.
So.
And.
Yeah, I thought this was very smart somehow, yeah? Because
it's not bad.
If you play e5, I take, yeah? That's not.
Yeah.
Because if I go immediately e4, I think the move is e5, right?
I don't know. Like I thought e5 might be a move, but I was planning to play knight c6.
Knight c6 anyway, so it transposes, yeah?
So that's why I just play knight c6 quickly. So
yeah, you thought.
In case you play, like I have to play this move, I thought. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, here I actually started to like it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to do here. Like I thought about a lot of stuff, like bishop e6, bishop g4.
Yeah, bishop g4, f3. I think doesn't help you. Yeah, it looks strange the diagonal, but yeah, queen c1.
Bishop e6, but yeah, it looks.
And then knight c5 maybe even.
Yeah.
Bishop e3 back and everything is protected.
Yeah, it looks too strange.
Yeah.
And also I thought about some g6, but.
I thought maybe, yeah. I thought you want to have ef6 structure maybe, yeah. But knight d5 also. Yeah. Maybe h6 also.
H6? Maybe, but do I want to force you to take?
I wasn't sure if I will take actually.
You just go back. Yeah?
I thought bishop h4.
Mm-hmm.
And then okay, this is probably too much. Huh?
G5.
I don't know. It looks very dangerous. Huh?
Yeah, like h4, bishop b5.
Yeah, just move pieces. Huh?
Yeah, it looks nice, but probably it's too much.
Yeah.
So, yeah, e4, e6.
Yeah, this. Okay, bishop b4 looks logical. If not, you're very passive. And okay, this I
Here
thought was already very uncomfortable for black. Yeah?
I'm not sure because, like, if I can show, there's this Vienna line, yeah, queen a5, 8 queen a5. Do you think it's somewhat similar to that?
Yeah.
And their bishop takes f6 is not great, I think.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, how do you put your pieces? Yeah. I thought
I
bishop
do not know
c3 if you want to play with the king on e7, but I'm not that sure.
Yeah, it looks. I thought of it, but it looks a bit like you get like always some f4 and e5 ideas. Like.
Yeah, or I just go with the queen on e3. I thought c4, c5 if you play b6. Yeah?
Or even like f4, queen e1, queen h4.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
no, but this a6 looked extremely.
Bad.
Yeah, just very slow. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah,
I wasn't so sure if after castle I play knight b5 after all. So.
True. Like I thought a6 is just useful, and maybe I keep option of castling queenside. But I think I just have to do it right here.
Yeah.
Like for sure, I have to play castles.
Yeah, I think white is slightly better probably, but.
I'm not so sure.
You're not sure, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know.
Just looks so nice, huh?
Yeah, f4 is there. Then.
And now obviously you have better version than in the game. Yeah?
Absolutely. Like bishop d7, rook d8.
Yeah.
Like also, I think I can play king h8, rook g8. Maybe I'm faster.
Yeah. Actually, if you get rook g6, and I think it's not that bad. Yeah. If you have the rook on g7, I think it's very, yeah. So castle is for sure the move. Maybe also queen d2 here, but because I want to get this queen h6 again.
Yes, but maybe then there's already some queen e5 kind of.
Yeah. No, I mean for sure. Yeah, castle is the better
like
move.
a6 is so slow. And after queen d2, like.
I thought you wanted bishop d7 and long castle.
Yeah, I thought of this, but thing is again, queen h6, and if I come here, I think this was very strong.
I actually didn't want to play queen h6, yeah? But I thought you just want to give f6, yeah? Maybe something like this.
Bishop d6.
King b8.
King b8.
I thought that must be your idea, yeah? But
you just take the pawn.
probably.
h5. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't so sure, but I thought, I mean, at least also queen e3, long castle, knight d4. Looks like, I don't know, bishop d6, f4, and no counterplay whatsoever.
Yeah. This is. So I thought short castle shouldn't be made, but probably it is just made.
I thought it was nearly forced, yeah? I don't know, queen e7 looks like only? I don't know.
Like queen e5, f4 just wins, right?
Yeah.
So here the suggestion maybe you shouldn't have gone so quickly because kind of we could see like later at the game after f4 Michal was in time with his rook g7, yeah, and maybe.
Well, but I thought this position was basically winning, yeah, after rook d1.
I believe the
Maybe I'm
improvement
wrong.
could be if you first try to play actively, just to put rook a1, rook ac1, rook fg1,
Yes.
knight a4, knight b6.
Yeah, maybe I can play positionally. Yeah?
Yeah, I was expecting you to play positionally. I
Ah,
thought it would be
really,
a bit worse, but.
I mean, I just thought if the rook is on g7, it's basically mate, yeah. But
Yeah, I didn't.
maybe I
think
was
of-
too optimistic. But actually, I saw till king f1 here, basically. Yeah?
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Only after you played rook d3, I started to realize
Oops.
that I have to resign maybe.
Oops.
What is happening?
Uh,
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm very curious about this engine evaluation,
Yeah,
which looks
same.
extremely strange, but
yeah, I actually wanted to resign at some point.
okay, maybe you can play rook g8, but what is the difference?
Yeah, actually, but like thing is, if you play here, sorry.
You have to drag. what you
Okay,
have to drag.
okay.
This one, yeah, somehow I didn't see how you like get out of
Yeah, you just
this
play rook h5,
stuff.
rook
Yeah?
h3,
Yeah,
and maybe you even give g2.
we check. I
Yeah.
can even give it
And
with run
just-
to f3.
Just yeah. I saw many lines where I'm getting mated.
I thought also, yeah, I was very happy. I have to say, but I don't know. Also, this stuff was very very nice. If you go, okay, you can go f5 if you want.
Did I? Okay.
I thought this,
Okay.
but then just queen
Rook
f6.
f8. Yeah.
This is just
Actually, I'm not sure how it is with the bishop on. Oh yeah, you just turn rook h7.
rook h7 and go
Queen
back.
h6.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No, I thought it was just mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything I calculated was mate, so I was. So rook g8 again, but yeah, again I'm not so sure. What are you doing? I mean, either the engine is like 10,000 times better than us, or doesn't
Yeah.
understand that you're mate. Yeah, it's 1 out of 2.
Yeah, I guess it's just see some difference. Like, okay, it's hard to believe that black should just get mated by force after castles, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it looked so
Yeah, it
sketchy
looks really-
somehow.
Yeah, like I was hoping to just get the knight to f8.
Yeah? Yeah, that's what I missed. Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah.
yeah,
I don't know.
this-
Okay, the game e5, rook g8 again, rook f8, queen f6. Yeah, that's the point.
Rook f8.
Then
yeah,
I played queen king f1 very fast. Yeah, that was stupid.
yeah. I was like after this, I thought it was mate, or very close at least. I didn't see anything for me.
Yeah, I also don't know what you have to do.
Yeah, like knight b8 now, just rook h5, right?
Yeah,
And bishop c6, rook h3.
yeah. I don't see how you.
Like here. Bishop c6, rook h3.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, computer.
Okay, I have to take king f1 and king goes to e3 and I resign, I guess. Like, knight always covers c5.
Yeah, exactly. And you can also take e2, but it doesn't bring anything. Like you can go, I don't know, like this,
To king
and
e3.
just take. Oh,
Okay. King e2.
yeah, I'm just going away. Yeah, king f1.
Okay,
Bishop
check.
b5.
King f2 g2, that's over.
Yeah, probably also king e3. Yeah? I mean, everything looks very good.
Yeah, like this knight is covering everything.
Yeah, I thought king f1 was even smarter because I don't give it a check, but this that was a nasty idea with bishop c6. Yeah, yeah, I don't see it. I mean,
Okay,
I don't
so
know.
bishop b5 was better.
maybe the engine loves us, but I think that's winning. Yeah,
Which one?
this one looks.
Yeah, it looks winning. I don't know what's the.
No, not sure. I don't know.
Because if the queen moves, there's queen f6. Like anything
Yeah.
like this, there's just and rook
Yeah,
h7.
6 and rooks. Yeah. Like there's not even a check on c6. So,
No, I don't see it.
okay, I cannot take knight e5. You just take back. It doesn't.
Like you
nothing.
cannot move this rook, this queen. Maybe you go here,
And
but I don't know what the idea is
yeah,
actually.
just rook h5.
Knight e7 is nothing. Yeah? Now we have queen b6 at least in some lines.
Still king f1.
Nothing. Oh wait, but am I threatening now something if you have queen b6 check at some point?
How?
Let's make some move. I don't know. What is a smart move? Maybe.
Knight e7. Or,
Yeah. But then queen f6 again, huh?
And also like even if
Queen f6 finishes immediately.
even if king f1, I don't know how.
Yeah. No, I just don't see it. Okay.
King
Yeah, and this knight b8 was very nice. Huh?
Yeah, like after this, I thought if I'm worse, it should be very slight.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And also like, yeah, I thought I was mating you, and then suddenly you have this knight b8. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I started to even like 35 minutes basically of worrying. Yeah, that I will even lose this game.
Yeah. After this, I was quite happy.
Yeah. Yeah, knight d4. Yeah, bishop b5 as we discussed shortly after the game. Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. It was 50-50 between these two. and
Yeah.
I thought I forced knight c6, but
Yeah, actually I saw this.
yeah, I did not see this.
Like this is beautiful.
Knight g5. Can I
Yeah.
play f6?
Maybe
Okay, rook d7. No,
rook d7. Eh?
no, but queen
Let's
d7
check,
and I
yeah?
come down. Okay, maybe.
Can we go here? Maybe, yeah?
Maybe no, knight f7. Sorry.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
The rook ending is totally winning, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was beautiful and I even saw it. Opa. And this one.
Queen g6.
And
Yeah.
but somehow I didn't play bishop f3. Yeah? But you have bishop b5 still. It's like worst version, but
Worst version for sure. But like now you come here
probably, yeah.
and take.
Yeah, this actually looks quite sad for you.
Yeah, this knight is on b8 and okay, this is maybe just losing.
Maybe just rook d6, rook d3, rook rook b8 or whatever.
Yeah.
Or rook d6, rook b6. Yeah, this looks
Losing actually.
horrible. Huh?
So after bishop f3, I'm not
Maybe
sure.
you have bishop b4.
It looks sad. I don't know. Should it take rook e3 or direct rook e3? No. Okay, g2 is not hanging, so
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
just rook e3. Okay, maybe I have to come down queen a3 at some point.
Yeah, do some
Yeah, it's not so easy actually.
queen a3. Yeah, because if I don't have the bishop, there is no defense for my king anymore.
Yeah, that's what was happening if I played bishop b5, you had to take.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah no. This was actually maybe bishop e4. Yeah, you still survive. So this. Yeah, and here I couldn't see anything anymore. Like
okay, rook d6. But
Here was basically the idea you mentioned before a few times, this with queen f6, I believe. So now queen f6. So the idea the rook
can I
has
give
to
this? Yeah.
after this bishop h6, h5, sorry,
Oh
and
wow!
white is winning.
white is winning?
Wow!
And you have to go rook g6, and after rook g6,
But
rook
this is
h-
amazing. Yeah.
rook h g3, and you're just
Yeah.
trading everything and better endgame for white winning.
Okay,
So
yeah, I
here-
did not see bishop h5 obviously.
No, I saw actually bishop h5 with the queens on the board, but not without. So this, and now you said
Rook h g3,
ah.
And okay, my knight is just
knight
But
is,
wait,
okay, take with the
so
pawn. right?
HG, yeah?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. This is just over.
I'm not sure. Like okay, rook c8, king comes to e8, knight d7. I mean, I can still.
Yeah,
I still don't resign anything, but
it looks
but it looks very
Yeah,
dominating
looks
for
bad
white.
again, yeah.
yeah, maybe you go g4 and bring the other pawn to g5.
Yeah, or g4 and f5, bishop on f5.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks good. I didn't see. I just didn't want to give g2. That was all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But maybe rook d6 also could work, but I
Yeah, rook d6, knight d7.
Knight d7 or queen b7. I was thinking.
Even queen b7, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have like threats
Oh, wait,
anymore.
wait, wait, wait. Okay, I just totally blundered. Actually. Yes, yeah. I blundered.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
queen.
Yeah. I
No,
did
this
not-
actually I saw, yeah.
yeah. So- yeah, this is just mate. Even
Yes.
without the rook, it's mate.
Yeah.
queen.
So,
But I thought, okay, knight d7 immediately.
mm,
And if I don't, like, do I take on c6 simply?
yeah, but that's complicated.
Rook
Then I
b8 or
queen a3.
or queen a3.
Okay, maybe you take this one. Like, okay, my queen is stuck. That's the
Yeah, yeah.
problem.
No, I thought also maybe bishop d3 idea and g4,
G4.
but f6 on bishop d3. It just gets too messy, yeah?
Or also knight f8. Like,
Yeah. So basically, my thought process was after missing this knight b8, I thought, okay, let's try to make a draw some or find some safety. Yeah? If I have like a slightly better endgame, if I would have seen this queen f6 endgame, I would have gone for it immediately. Yeah? But
Yeah.
I just didn't understand it because I thought, okay, if black actually gets knight d7 and f6 and I don't have anything, if I have my rooks here, suddenly I just lose. Yeah.
So what were other moves you were considering at this moment, if not rook h4? What
I
were your
thought bishop
ideas?
f3 also. Knight d7, bishop c6, but it looks also very, I don't know, very loose somehow. Yeah, everything is.
Yeah,
Looks
then I
like
can
black
already.
stuck somehow, but white cannot do much.
Yeah, but the
about it.
moment knight is on f8,
Yeah.
white is stuck actually. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you get knight f8, rook g6, what are my pieces doing here? Huh?
Yeah,
It's-
then my queen
So
is coming. And
That's why I thought, okay, something like this. Okay, what am I doing here actually? No, queen f6,
but okay,
but
I
queen
can
a3.
come down. Yeah, my rook can't move, but
Yeah, but I mean, I just
actually I only have my queen here.
don't have any other move, but queens can be nasty, yeah? I don't know. A2 is hanging, then you run with the a pawn, I don't know.
Yeah. Also, your queen is stuck on f6, sort of. So.
Yeah. No, I'm not that sure. Like, probably it should be good, but...
So.
So yeah, I basically saw this thing. Actually, I thought bishop e6 was winning because it was mate, but I saw somehow after rook b8, I thought you will play rook b8, yeah? It looked very dangerous.
Okay. Bishop b3, rook 8 is basically the same thing.
Ah, bishop b3, rook e8.
Yeah.
What is the idea of rook e8? No, I didn't think rook e8. I thought maybe you can take.
I thought of something like this, but even if you take. Okay, now rook h7 is a threat. So I guess.
So I have to take, yeah?
Yeah. Maybe there are some checks.
Yeah, but that's, yeah, knight on f6.
I saw rook b8, but
And maybe it's not that much, yeah? It's
I
not
did not trust in it.
clear anymore. Because, okay, this, I think this bishop b6
Yeah,
was
bishop
just,
e6 was very nice.
just a draw,
You
yeah?
have to do it, yeah, probably.
I think if
Yeah.
not, I'm dead,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
It's just over, yeah? I mean, I don't know, I don't know
Yeah, I miss bishop c4 as well.
if I have anything else. Yeah?
Like, can I play knight f8 instead? I was. But okay, I don't think
No,
I.
but that was actually my idea. And now, what did I want to do? I thought this was some kind. What was my point?
I don't know, because.
Bishop d3? Oops. Exactly. Yeah?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, queen f6, yeah, I think that's
But can I. No, I cannot come.
That's why I went with the rook here, so I protect f4, yeah? That was the point. I didn't want
Yes,
to go
yes,
here,
yes.
but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to protect. Oops. So, just to make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is always the idea.
Okay. Just runs to f3. No, not f3.
No, not f3, but
Yeah, actually, where do you run?
maybe I don't.
Okay, king d2, bishop c2, probably.
Yeah, I thought. Okay, you're very stuck, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, this is still tricky. I don't know whether this is winning, actually.
Can you play something like this?
Queen f2? Okay, I was thinking take on g2 also.
Taken g2 even.
And what
even
was wrong
works,
with
yeah?
king f3?
Queen
This
takes
we check, yeah?
Oh, we check, of course.
I also
Of
thought
course.
during the game king f, then suddenly we. No, maybe this is even working, yeah? And if I go here, g4, probably also some. Because I'm not threatening anything, yeah? So you just start to pick things up.
Yeah, this might even lose for white.
Yeah. No, so this may be even worth a try, yeah?
Yeah, but I thought if I wanted to win, I had to play f6. Like I was already
Yeah.
starting to feel a bit.
Uh-huh.
Maybe I can win. But
Yeah.
I did not see bishop c4.
If I don't have bishop c4, bishop b6, probably it's over, yeah?
Probably it's I thought
Or
it's
very bad at
I
least.
think it's very bad.
And knowing that I was like 2 moves away from mate, at least it felt like this.
Yeah.
There will be not much resistance probably.
So
Yeah,
so why I did not play this?
but I thought rook b8 actually, I would think that. Again, some strange checks.
Check.
But some e2.
Yeah, okay. f2, queen c4 is probably.
Bad, huh?
I think so. So let's check again.
No, this.
f3. No, here I thought I had this. I saw this one actually.
Wow.
And suddenly e4, queen c5, and you're mate.
Wait, can I take here?
Ah.
But maybe you do something like this or knight f6 immediately, maybe this and knight f6. Yeah? Maybe I'm just busted. Like what is my king doing?
Yeah, okay, this looks bad.
No, now f5, now you can take it.
Oh. Yeah, suddenly all the pieces came.
Yeah. No, I didn't see this fe, yeah? Yeah, that would have been actually bad, probably.
Yeah, I didn't see bishop f5 either. But I think I just didn't know what to do after this.
Yeah, I thought fe, yeah, or something. But yeah, maybe this endgame is just more or less okay at least.
Yeah, check and... Problem is, where do you go?
E2
Like, another check?
and then e3. My mate again somehow?
Probably not a mate. Maybe there's some exchange. I don't see it.
Yeah, I also don't see it.
Like,
I mean, it looks dangerous, but if there is nothing for black here, then suddenly I start to dream again.
yeah,
But,
that's probably at least practically the same.
yeah, this is again 3 results. Just yeah, and then okay, there was this.
Yeah, if you take on g7,
Nice
it doesn't
finish.
work. But
Yeah,
if-
exactly.
yeah,
That
that's,
would have been very sad. Yeah.
yeah, that's the.
But yeah.
Yeah, very interesting game we had here with, with back and forth. Basically, both players had some possibilities to use. Thank you so much for analysis and good luck tomorrow. Tomorrow we're having Blitz.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
Good luck. Of course, we're having. Yes, we are going to continue with Vincent. All. Sorry for waiting.
I want to mention is that all the games are finished and the interview is next.
No, it's yes, so we are having here Vincent Keimer results, who just won a game against Alan Pichot. Congratulations on your victory. It was pretty interesting that you didn't play this d4 at some moment, so it didn't transpose to into Indian. And then you had this d3, very interesting. Basically, you were better at that moment because you had this. Maybe you'd like to share some key moments from the game.
Yeah, okay, I mean, I won the pair of bishops pretty early on, so I think that was... Yeah, I think the position should just always be slightly better if I don't horribly misplay it, so all this are logical moves. I mean, okay, I have some crazy ideas with g4 at sometimes, let's say here, but I don't think it really gives anything. I mean, he will just go knight e8 and, have weakened myself too much. So I think those moves... I mean, after c5, now I have to make the first decision. I mean, I can go b5 right away, like, okay, I won't let this knight get to c6 and close the whole queen side and say, okay, I will try to go for some like d3, knight e2, f4 at some moment and attack on the king side, but I thought it's better to keep one file open. Of course, I could have taken bc5 immediately as well, but I had hoped that maybe here he would take a4, knight c6, and then I would have played b5 and thought maybe it's a better kind of version because now the a file is open. But yeah, okay, played knight c6, take. And I'm pretty sure I somewhere misplayed because I had the idea of, I mean, knight e7 of course I saw, and then queen d2, this was all part of the idea, but of course the general idea was to go bishop c3 and e5 and rook b2, because he can't defend the b4 wall because the a5 pawn is always hanging, but I think here it's just e4, and I underestimated it from a bit further away, and then I had to like, okay, make some weird moves I didn't really like.
Here, did you consider instead of queen d2 maybe knight d2 his idea of pushing?
Yeah, I
e4?
mean that's a very classical idea, of course, that's always possible. I just never sure of how much it's giving, but sure, that's one of the main ideas here. So yeah, queen d2 and bishop c6. Yeah, I did really like to play this knight e1 move, and especially because at some moment he might also have d5 ideas. I think maybe queen c7 would have been more stable, because I didn't really understand why the queen should go to d7 and after bishop c3 now there might even be d5. I'm not saying it's... I mean, the good thing with this kind of position is that even if I misplay it, I shouldn't ever get in any trouble, but as long as I don't blunder anything, I mean, but yeah, here this bishop c3, e4, I don't know, bishop d1, I felt queen e6 was not such a good move. I think I would have just taken on d3 and allowed this bishop f6, but now his pieces are extremely active. I'm not sure okay, I can take, and then yeah,
But
it's
the
not so easy.
structures.
Yeah, the structure's bad, but very strong bishop on c6. I mean, I can understand that he didn't like this position, but I also, I mean, from white side it also looks not so good because I have this bishop on d1 and I don't really have any place to go. But yeah, here I was relatively happy. d5. Okay, the problem is first I thought I can just go f4, but I think now there's knight fd7. And yeah, I can go rook b1, like knight d3, take, and maybe f5. Because now after queen c4 there's rook f4 and bishop e4, bishop e3, so this doesn't work, but he can just go back, and yeah, I don't think I should play like this. I mean, it's really dangerous. If I don't win, I might just lose here. So I decided to play for this, yeah, kind of pin. Yeah, I mean, of course, rook fc8. That's, I believe, all that he has also seen all this. And okay, basically here, I don't know, probably there's something better than what I've played, but I also didn't have that much time left, and okay, I saw this idea of taking the knight and then going with the queen to d5, and at least I'm safe there, so that's why I went there. But here the lines were extremely complicated. I mean, I shouldn't take on c6 and e5, because then there's knight d2, that's like the trap. I mean, I don't really know, like here there's also some knight d3 ideas, f6 and probably f3, so it's like, okay, crazy lines, but yeah, I was not sure. He can go to d6, and then he will win back the pawn on c4, and okay, he should be fine. That's what I saw during the game, but yeah, I'm not sure, so that's why I went here. Okay, that makes sense. I think f6, queen c2, knight d6, queen d3. Okay, I was a bit surprised that he played rook ac8 so fast, because, I mean, rook a6 looks like, okay, at least really interesting, and
Not allowing the spin, yeah?
yeah, and after rook c8 it was the thing that I thought it's even impossible, because I just forgot about king f8 from far and thought, okay, he has to go to a8, h8, and then after rook d1 he will never be able to unpin. But yeah, I mean, I can understand that he just thought everything is fine, because first of all I also didn't see anything here. I mean, h3, and okay, I thought it probably should go to b7, because now if I take, he can just go rook b6. That's what I first thought, but yeah, here's knight g5, and I think this should probably be already winning. So that's what he missed, and
Yeah, knight d5 was very nice.
yeah, it was like the only idea I had in the position. But yeah, I mean, queen c7, I believe, was the interesting move, because I still have to go knight g5 if I want to get anything. But now he can take, and okay, go to d7, and it's like, okay, everything is pinned, but okay, I mean, I'm rook down, I need to win somehow, I think. Okay, probably I can take, king e6, queen h6, and okay, I just thought like, okay, I will take so many pawns that even if I will end up being pieced down, I can still play for a win, and I will always have perpetual in any case, so okay, this also didn't really bother me here. I mean, there were some lines like this, and I think here I can take on c6, and then on d6, and then queen f5.
Yeah, king
Which
is
should
just
win.
too open.
Yeah, that's... So yeah, I was really happy after seeing that there's always this
Yeah.
knight g5 move, and okay, I think after that there was just no way for him to defend.
Yeah, after queen b7, knight g5, very nice. Yeah, thank you so much. Congratulations one more time on the victory. Are you ready for the blitz for tomorrow?
Yeah, I hope so. It of course will be very tough. I know it from last year, and
Yeah.
yeah, hope to do well.
Yeah. So good luck to you tomorrow, and yeah, hope to see you maybe for interview tomorrow. We
Yeah.
will see.
Thank you.
Do we have someone else? Ah, everyone. Yes, but we are waiting for the. Yeah. You can ask when they're when they are analyzing, or yeah, when the two players are. I don't know if two players will be there, but during the analysis I can hear you. No, they don't hear. I'm having the earpod in my ear, so no one hears you. Okay.
There's going to be the interview next. In a moment, all of the games have finished. So we are not going to switch the screen because I'm afraid I might miss the feed. Yeah, there's Maxime Lagarde. He was able to trick Kirill Alexeyenko. and it's gonna start in a moment. If you have some questions, you can ask them in the chat. I'm gonna relay to Angelica, and Angelica is gonna ask Maxim. Use this opportunity.
We are now with Maxim Lagarde, who just played his game and won against Kirill Alexeyenko. Congratulations on the victory. It was an interesting game, and actually, basically after 7th move, you were both out of theory, and it was basically the new game. Maybe you would like to share some
actually, I
ideas.
think he was a bit surprised by Queen C2 because the main line is obviously knight d5. So I went for Queen C2, knight f6, knight f3, and here, he could have gone for knight c6, but then after e3, it's a well-known theory. So he went for bishop c3, which is maybe too early to take now. So here I can also take the pawn and play with e4, but I went for Queen c3, d6, d4, then h6 is important, otherwise I can just play bishop g5. And here it's very complex position. I think I'm slightly better, but it's not so easy to create something because I have the bishop pair and I have the black squares. But I couldn't find a way to really create something. So I think here he played well. Four, 6, okay, here I went for 96. Maybe it's not. Oh, I will continue after Queen d7.
Yeah, I also wanted to ask you a question, like why did you decide to go for this? It seems like bishop is
but
almost the worst
I had
piece.
decided to create some attack with bishop e2, h4, g4. So maybe it's not the best, but in a practical view, I thought that was interesting. So takes, bishop e2, knight e7, and here it's a critical moment, I think. I can also castle, but it's a bit dangerous maybe after knight h5, knight h4. Okay, I think it should be okay because I always have a f3, king h1, f3. Here I went for h4, so also g4 was interesting with the same idea, but after g5 it's not so clear actually. h4, knight g6. Okay, takes, bishop d2. I don't know knight, but actually.
So you already at this moment you already felt your castle alongside. You decided to provoke your opponent.
I wanted to create something on the king's play h5. Otherwise I just play g4 and I'm clearly better. So h5. And here, in a long-term view, I thought it was interesting for me because I'm gonna castle, rook g1, bishop d1, f3, and maybe at some point play with g4. I don't know. Okay, knight f5, castle, and here I was surprised a bit. He went for rook b8 to attack me. I didn't expect that actually. Okay, we have to think about c5 here, but it was not working because of d4 and b4 was important because if I take, he can just take with the queen and it's not so clear, I think. And I always have this idea of bishop h5,
Very nice.
which is saving me. So rook b8, king b2, b6, c5, and here I don't know. It's so complex position. I have no idea because you can always go to close the position, but then I think I'm the only one who can try to play for something. Always with the breakdown with the g4. So we decided knight g4. I think is strong. Bishop e1 and maybe rook c6 is not the best. But I have no idea of the was worse.
I'm not sure about it.
Rook c6. Okay, here takes b4, and here black should try bc5, dc5, knight f6. Is it okay? It's a very. I have no idea because he wants to play with d4, not d5 maybe. But can I just play like king a3 or something like that? Because if he plays d4, I just take knight d5, queen c4. Okay, so just so complex.
Yeah. So do you think the game was like basically based on some tactics ideas?
Yeah,
or
no,
it's,
but yeah, it was both positional and tactical game. Rook, Queen C8, okay. Okay, Rook C7. I don't know if the evaluations are.
yeah,
Did you
right?
put or?
No, that wasn't a chess base.
Okay, Rook C7. Okay, I don't know, maybe Queen A3. Yeah, maybe it was better actually. Yeah, he had to wait before taking, because after taking I always have this idea to change the rook.
It was pretty interesting that basically, if you're in time to trade the rooks, you have
Yeah.
a better structure.
Yeah, no, actually, point of this position. I mean, from a tactic view, I'm clearly better because of the C5 pawn. But if you manage to checkmate me, okay.
Yes.
If I survive, obviously I'm better. But and here I don't know. There is so many ideas. Like Queen B7 was also interesting, but I have always this idea of playing Bishop D2. I just basically don't care of the F2 pawn. What is important here is to change the pieces, because then the pawn will get.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, this I was calculating this rook B1 takes, for example, takes, and here I thought that was just clearly better. I don't know, because bishop D1, bishop A4, and okay, my king is safe. So rook B1 takes. Rook B7, King C2 was important, I think. Because if I go in A2, which looked more natural, what was annoying, I forgot.
Actually, thought that king gets magic.
Maybe it's possible, but I don't know. Okay, I started to be in time trouble.
Yeah, of course, it was already
It was very hard.
close to 40th move and.
Queen B7, Queen A2. Okay, here I think I should be better, but maybe the computer. Okay, we always have to calculate this idea. But after King C1, I think there is just nothing. It's not enough for black. Queen D7, Bishop D2. Rook B1, and now okay, it's getting.
Yeah.
But okay, he managed to find some counterplay. Knight D3 is well played. Okay, I can't take because after Knight G3, Bishop, Queen F5, I'm gonna be worse. So Knight G3, Queen Rook D6, and okay, here I don't know if I played precisely because it was so. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Takes and Queen E6, and I just couldn't think. Like all my pieces are hanging, maybe that, but after Knight F1, I don't know. It's just without time, it's just so hard to play well because the computer says Queen F5, Rook D5, Queen F3. Can I just take? Okay, but even this position, the computer can say it's better for black, but with the pawns, it's just so hard to evaluate.
Of course.
So Bishop D1, Knight F5. Okay, here it was a bit tricky because. Sorry. Okay, I don't know. There was a trick at some point, but maybe not in this position. A5, okay. Okay, A5 I can't take here, of course, because there is Knight B4,
Yeah.
and I'm just lost. So Bishop H5, but here it should be. It's not winning. Wow. I like the comment. Black has nothing to worry.
Yeah, computer is very.
I'm
very
not sure
smart.
he has nothing to worry, that's okay.
Yeah, it looks like structure is much
Yeah.
better for white, but yeah, maybe because of some.
B7, just G6, is that idea? Okay, I don't know. I think both have to worry in this position.
Yes, everyone has to work,
So Queen D7.
especially in time trouble.
Yeah. No, okay, here I think it's winning, no? No, it's not winning according to the computer, wow. Okay, Knight D4, it's winning, it's lost for sure, but
Yeah.
G6, H5, takes. Wow. If I just play Bishop H3. No, I can't believe this position is I mean, from a human perspective, it's just so hard to hold, no? Because my king is safe and his king is going to be safe. Everything is pinned. I don't understand why it's draw, but if the computer says so. Okay, and after knight d4, I just queen d4 and swing. So yeah, interesting and very complex game. I don't know. I'm gonna check with maybe the computer say it's better.
But maybe then there was some knight c6, knight e7 to protect the knight on f5 or I don't think so.
Ah, maybe that's the idea.
I don't know.
Knight c6, but I can just take. No,
I just take, of course.
no but I don't understand. I don't see any move. Yeah, well, if he wants to protect with the king, I don't know.
Yeah, but rook on d6.
Yeah, the rook in b6. No, I don't know. It looks to me completely lost, but okay.
Yeah, very interesting game.
Yeah, very
and,
complex.
Complex one. And, basically decided in the that you decided you managed to protect. There was no attack for black on the queen
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, probably I got lucky, but at some point. But
So are you ready for today's blitz?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
Yes, I hope so. I will. Actually, I'm happy to win finally a game because the classical tournament was being a bit tough for me. So yeah, tomorrow I will play bad, but in Blitz we don't care, so it's fine.
You had also interesting game, I guess, with Kirill. I guess in chess, Fischer random. There was also some
Yeah,
risky.
that was interesting. No, but yesterday I lost, but okay, he played a very good game, but yesterday I don't know, I couldn't just evaluate well. I thought I was better at some point, or at least not worse, but okay, just played well, just played better, so he deserved. So yeah, it's cool.
Okay,
it's
so good
great.
luck to you tomorrow
Thank you.
and for the rest of classical.
Thanks.
Alright, we are back. Hope you enjoyed it. The final interview is not gonna happen because it's not gonna happen. Boris Gelfand yeah, Boris Gelfand and Gadagamsky finished in a draw, and they have left it apparently. They're not gonna join the interview. Yeah, so, but this means what? This means our day is gonna be slightly shorter today because I guess it had to be one day, right? Because the first 3 rounds of every single day were so long, and the first day we had the 91 move game, Alexienko against Sarin. The second day it was Studer against Pichot. Yesterday it was Kamsky against Alexienko, although slightly shorter, and today everybody finished in the first time control. So literally there was like forming a queue at the interview because we organized all of the 3 interviews one after another. So that made really one long broadcast from the interview place. Yeah, I'm gonna very quickly recap what happened there, but what I wanted to mention is that we are gonna continue obviously with the tournament tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is gonna be a start of the Blitz event, and I would like to explore this possibility that you're asking questions, and I'm talking with Angelika. She's in Biel during the interviews. I'm in a Discord call. I hear what they're hearing. Otherwise, technically, I'm just unable to hear it. It's the glitch of this software which I'm streaming from. But this means you have amazing opportunity to ask questions directly to the players. And have you seen this somewhere else? Because I have not. So if your favorite player is giving the interview, you can use this opportunity. Just write in the chat, for example, I don't know, what is your favorite book? I mean, what kind of movie do you like? I don't know. What do you think about this move? And if the question is interesting enough, I can relay to Angelica and she's gonna ask it to the players. Right, so use this opportunity. I think this is one of the amazing features that I would like to explore, the interaction of the viewers with the players. And I think this is maybe something that is missing so far. So maybe this is what we can do, at least with this broadcast from Biel. Right. All right, let me maybe very quickly review what happened before I'm finishing the stream. Because we missed some of the action in the remaining two games, we saw what happened in Saren's game against Studer. Studer indeed was winning, but this bishop h5 idea, I mean, I found it in an engine. I mean, I didn't see it myself. I saw there's this huge evaluation bar jumping skyrocket high. And I checked, yeah, it's bishop h5. Otherwise, I'm not sure if I would be able to find it. Maybe not. And the players definitely, you saw, right? I mean, they're so shocked that there's, oh, bishop h5. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, if you say like that, yeah, then it indeed looks interesting. And what I also found it to be quite interesting that for the first time, there was a little bit disagreement about the valuation of the position. And sometimes this happened because I'm talking about Studer's and Saren's game, because sometimes the players disagree about a position. They think one player says, I'm so much better here. The second player says, no, I don't think so. And very often the evaluation is very similar. Very often, because, I mean, we more or less understand the same position the same way. But sometimes there's this conflict. Not a conflict, but a different opinion. So that was quite interesting to see. But yeah, in the end, they did manage to come to the same conclusion that probably black is getting mated. Right, so the game of Alexienko, maybe I can very quickly change a little bit the scenery here so that you can at least follow watching something. So the game against Lagarde, we left it quite early when the action was just starting. Yeah, so indeed, Lagarde was trying to provoke his opponent to do something. So Long Castle is calling for action for black. I think we left it here, around here, and both players reached mutual time trouble. King c2, queen a3, queen a2, super sharp game. Bishop d2, sacrificing the pawn on f2. And around here, I had a feeling, yeah, indeed, that the Frenchman started to take over because he has the protected pass pawn here and two bishops. And not really sure what those knights are doing here. So rook b6, knight e3, queen b3, knight g3. So I think this is exactly the kind of position that Lagarde likes. So I think I already mentioned this, that I wasn't sure about Alexienko's choice. Why did he go here? Because I thought that his position suits more positional style. Oh, he blundered in the end. Okay, so bishop g4 was played, knight x on d4 was the intermezzo move, and check this out. This was the 40th move. The, how to say, notorious 40th move. You don't want to make huge moves on 40th move. So I guess Alexienko was so much in time trouble that he suddenly believed that knight x on d4 is actually working. So his position already was very bad. He should have played g6, and Lagarde in the interview said that he's gonna play h5, g takes bishop h3. He didn't believe in black's position, neither do I, because I had a feeling that he managed already to outplay his very strong opponent, but after knight x on d4, the game is finished. So not e takes on d4, queen takes on g4, not bishop takes on d7, knight b3, but intermezzo move, queen takes on b4. So queen g4, yeah, I'm still so bad at drawing arrows, but queen g4, queen d4, check, bishop c1, that's it, attack is over. And now after a takes, bishop d7, white is simply up a piece. So this was quite an unfortunate moment for Alexienko. losing like this, but I still think he made a wrong strategic choice by playing this super sharp game against the Frenchman. And I thought that actually here, if we go back to the opening phase right after it, when the Lagarde played c5, I thought that b5 was way to go, and it was quite interesting. For example, that I thought that only black can be better here. But then again, Maxime said in the interview he felt that it's white. It's white who can press here because there might be some g4 ideas, rook g1 and g4. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure really, but definitely what is clear is that this was definitely a possibility for black. Maybe he should have went for this, but it didn't happen. Instead, a very sharp game started and the Frenchman was simply better in the calculations, in the understanding the sharp position. So well-deserved victory for the Frenchman, and this means he is getting more chances in the overall rankings. So the final game we missed, but I think it was very close to finish already, was the game of Vincent Kiemer against Alain Pechot, and all of this started by Vincent having an excellent opening, and black blundered with the last move, queen b7. Yeah, this is where we left it, and after knight g5, a beautiful idea, f takes, queen e5, king d7 is impossible, rook takes on d6, black cannot take it because there's a pin, so that's it. So there was no choice here for black. He tried to keep the position together, knight e4 was played, queen c7, and simply bishop takes. After queen takes is going to be knight e4, so knight e4, queen e4, queen c7, queen takes on h7 was played in the game. So not only white has the extra pawn, but also the black king is very weak. So king f7 was played, queen f5, trying to go for the mate, a very pleasant position for white, g6, queen goes away, f5, queen goes away, and black needs to solve a lot of practical problems of the incoming attack. Queen e6, check, here, rook d7, and that's it. Yeah, once the rook penetrates the defensives of black, there's queen g7, there's queen h4, so many threats that black is simply unable to keep the position together. So here, f4 was played, and black is checkmated. For example, takes, king f6, and queen e7 made on the board. So all the games finished rather quickly, pretty much in something like half an hour, maybe 20 minutes. The first time control finished, all the games very quickly wrapped up, unlike we saw in the first days. So again, let me show you the results of today. Noah Studer apparently missed the win against Soren Nikal, but both players were in good spirits after the game. Probably no reason to be unhappy for none of the players. Vincent Kiemer played a nice game against Alain Pechot, who blundered badly to miss knight g5 and allowed the young German to score a very important victory in the tournament. Gata Kamsky, the leader of the tournament. Oh yeah, I think we didn't check this game until then. Very quickly, I'm going to show it to you. And Maxime Lagarde beat Kirill Alexeyenko in a crazy strategic struggle. Yeah, very quickly, I'm going to show you this game of Kamsky against Gelfand, because we left it about here. Yeah, as soon as Gelfand played knight c4, we left it, and I said that bishop e2 probably needs to be played, not to allow black to play a5, because black is trying to trade away all of the pawns, because white has very nice bishop pair and some ideas to play h3, g4, and f5. Instead, Kamsky played king e4 after a5, one pawn was traded, h3, knight c4, g4, takes. Oh, bishop takes on g4, that is a surprise. Why not with the pawn? Maybe his idea was to play h4, h5 and try to get to this pawn by not trading the f pawn. Actually, that is quite interesting. Now after b4, bishop b4, yeah, but this is just completely equal. Yeah, king d7, h5, bishop h5, king e7, bishop e2. Yeah, there's simply not enough material. So white has, of course, very lovely bishops, but he's simply missing targets. So Gelfand trade couple of pawns, yeah, and after f takes, black can even simply give up the knight for the pawn on e5, position the king in the corner, the bishop walks on the long diagonal. It's a very easy draw. So that means the overall standings are as follows. Gatakamsky is still leading the tournament with 19.5 points. Now, thanks to today's victory, Maxim Lagarde has climbed to the second place by beating Kirill Alexeyenko in a very principled game. Alexeyenko has fallen to the third place, trailing the leader by 4.5 points. Everything is still possible for the young Russian player. Sarin Nikhal is in the fourth place. Winston Kiemer has climbed to the fifth place, outtaking Alain Pechot, because again, let me remind you, every single victory bags the player 4 points. Boris Gelfand is in the 7th place, and Noel Studer at the moment is at 8th place, but as you can see, the margin from the 8th place to the 5th place is just 3 points. Again, for every single victory in a classical tournament, the player is awarded 4 points. So what is the remaining schedule? The remaining schedule. Tomorrow we are going to play the Blitz tournament. Again, I'm saying we because I feel really invested in the tournament and the players. Tomorrow the players are playing the Blitz tournament. And it's going to be a double round robin. 14 rounds in total. Every single victory is going to be awarded a point. So the classical tournament resumes on Monday. So 4 rounds have been played, 3 more rounds remain. And of course, we could see a lot of changes in the overall rankings in tomorrow's Blitz. I'm not sure who is the favorite, really. Very, very difficult to predict. I guess the younger players usually tend to be the favorites. I guess we'll see. So the coverage, it's going to start slightly earlier than today. So when there's the time for the classical rounds, usually the coverage starts at 4:30 Central European Summer Time until games finish, or I'm just bored. I just don't want to continue. I'm just kidding. If there's a very long game, like the game of Studer against Pechot, yeah, I just finished the broadcast. But anyway, tomorrow we are playing Blitz, and this means that every single game is going to be covered, maybe shorter analysis, but I'm also going to have a guest in the studio. So it's not going to be me, it's going to be chit chat with my guest here in the chat as well. So who is it gonna be? I invite you to find out tomorrow, as you have to come by yourselves and see. I'm signing off from today. With you was the Latvian Grandmaster Artur Neikšans. I'm streaming from Riga. I'm not in Biel. In Biel is Angelika Volkova, also a wonderful streamer who is providing interviews for the players. Yeah, I guess I'll be seeing you tomorrow, and yeah, no idea indeed, right? Yeah, I see the dear chat has some ideas indeed. So take care, have a wonderful evening, and enjoy future coverages.